Off! We don't need the alarm. I've been up since Thursday. How can you sleep not knowing what's gonna happen next? Hello and welcome to Broadcast in Bed. 7-minute super serial Syria Spectacular. Say that 5 times fast. I had to. It's not pretty, people. I'm your host, Brendan Getchis, and we're going to start with my traditionally more lighthearted segment. In popular news, we're all gonna die. Source, my Facebook feed. Shortly after it was reported that the United States had fired Tomahawk missiles at Syria, which only happened immediately after I turned my phone back on from airplane mode. You don't know the powers that I possess. These events triggered a new wave of certainty that the world is coming to an end. A fitting sequel to the previous times the world was coming to an end that I've heard in 2001, A Saudi Odyssey, and 2012, The Mayans' Revenge. 2017, Sleepless in Syria. For real. This time, the end is near. Is brought to you by short memories and recency bias. Even without over-dramatizing, the situation is filled with international and domestic intrigue, which will blend together today like a fine Mediterranean yogurt smoothie. On Tuesday, April 4th, Syrian Su-22 aircraft were seen circling above the Idlib province of Syria, an area controlled by dwindling anti-Assad forces. About 7 a.m. explosions were heard, and witnesses report clouds of smoke and stinging in the eyes. Victims were reported with foaming at the mouth, blue tinting of the skin, and severe breathing problems, common symptoms of chemical weapon attacks. This would later be confirmed by autopsies performed in Turkish hospitals on said victims. Currently, the death toll stands at around 80. The Syrian government has denied accusations of using chemical weapons, mostly by lifting up their hands and saying, "I don't know where these came from." This is not the first time, as Syria has denied a previous United Nations investigation, finding that the August 2013 chemical attacks on the town of Ghouta, with 1,400 deaths and 3,600 injuries, was also carried out by Syrian government forces. International condemnation for Tuesday's attacks would come immediately, with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson suggesting that if Russia and Iran are going to support the Assad regime, they should do something. They promptly responded by blaming it on the rebels, then presumably high-fiving each other saying, "Ha, got him." Well, then the US had time to respond, and Trump had the perfect comeback, most likely after thinking about it in the shower for a really long time. And he ordered the firing of 50 Tomahawk missiles to the airfield where the Syrian planes were tracked down from, all the while probably singing 5 seconds to your heart, straight to the heart, boom! The reactions from home and abroad have been mixed. Domestically, the president has been criticized for a complete reversal from his campaign promises, which called for less intervention abroad, in addition to ordering an attack on foreign soil without consulting Congress, a gray area, as the attack was not in retaliation for U.S. victims. However, even some Democratic opponents of Trump have come forward to praise the response in context of standing up for international standards of conducting war, including Hillary Clinton. Internationally, reaction once again depends on who'd you ask. Western allies support the attack in the name of defending civilians, while Russia, Syria, and Iran still deny any wrongdoing, and then walk off, muttering ominously. We'll be back. In overview, it is a troubling time. The use of chemical weapons on combatants, and more importantly civilians, is an international crime. There are enough times in history where abuses went unpunished and would continue. Due to this, the international community stood in support of Trump. But it's like the family barbecue where your Aunt May drops some prejudiced thoughts on your family in reference to your cousin's date, and the drunk uncle had to break the awkward silence to call her out. The international community is happy Uncle Donnie did it, mostly so they didn't have to. In contrast, domestically, hearing the words weapons of mass destruction, Middle East, and authoritarian government sounds like a 16-year-long series might just get another few seasons. Literally, people graduating from high school don't fully remember a time the United States was not at war. For this reason, people were quick to point out Donald Trump's own comments in 2013, urging Barack Obama not to act in Syria, and ultimately remind us that Barack Obama did go to Congress and ask for their approval to use force, and was rejected. Going forward, there's a lot of uncertainty, and I won't try to predict the future. I'm not good at that. My March Madness bracket made that abundantly clear. But no matter what the world comes to next, we'll find something to laugh about. Thank you for watching.